talking about self-discovery and the journey that you're going to have to go on to discover who you truly are. Stay tuned. All right, one thing that you might find interesting about me is that right here I have one of my favorite crystals with me here. And the reason why I have this, there's several reasons I have this. I'll share with you a couple reasons. It's because I spend a lot of time in the woods. The reason why I spend a lot of times in the woods is because I'm a wizard. And I mean that in the most literal sense you could possibly imagine. I am a wizard. I create my reality. And a lot of people know me as a businessman. A lot of people know me as the marketing guy because I'm a consultant. I have several software companies. But what's behind that is this. Now, I have a ton of crystals. I have a whole collection of crystals at home. And no, I don't think the power is in the crystals. I think the power is in my belief in the crystals. It's my belief that's the power. But I keep these crystals with me, and this one in particular, because it reminds me that I create my own reality. Now, when I say I create my own reality, I mean it to the highest power. I mean, I don't believe anything outside of me has anything to do with the life that I'm living right now. I accept full responsibility for the quality of my life experience. And a lot of people aren't willing to go to that extent. But for me, that's been a part of my self-discovery journey. This is why I talked about self-discovery earlier. The reason why I talked about self-discovery earlier is because when you dive deep in yourself, you're going to discover a truth about yourself. See, so many people want to impose their belief system on you. For me, I discovered that I am the creator of my personal reality. That has given me a tremendous amount of power. That's given me a tremendous amount of control over the quality of my life experience. It's created wealth in my life. It has created inner peace in my life, happiness in my life, health in my life, reverse aging in my life. It's created so much in my life. So I don't believe in anything higher than me influencing my reality. Now, you can take from that what you will. That's a discovery that I found on myself. Now, so many people in the comment section might say something like, oh, you don't believe in this or you don't believe in that. And discovering who you are is one of the most impactful things you can ever do. And it's something that, from my experience interacting with different type of people, a lot of people don't know who they are, and so it's easier for them to just go with the easiest and most common path. And a lot of times it's a path that somebody before them has already carved out. Now, in many ways, all of us are piggybacking off the path that somebody else carved out, but to just submit your whole life to a path that somebody else has already carved out is something that the vast majority of people that truly dive deep inside of themselves and do self-discovery rarely ever do. And everybody's signature, everybody's mission, everybody's vision, everybody's philosophy, everybody's religion or lack thereof, everybody's God or lack thereof, everybody's gonna have a different combination of those things when they discover who they truly are on the inside. And I know for me, I tried to be religious, I tried to live like everybody else told me I should live since the beginning of time. And for me, that did not work for me. What really worked for me when I sat with myself and I said, okay, I hear what everybody else is saying, I see what everybody else is doing, but what does my soul say? And I had to sit and I had to meditate. I had to come to know myself for who I truly am. And it took time. It took patience. It took courage. It took practice. But once I got the message, oh my goodness, I got it big time. Now, when you really start thinking, you'll start to see that in many ways the world is afraid of you discovering who you truly are. This is why they try to, this is why, and people are so afraid, people are so afraid of you discovering who you truly are. Okay, this is why people do things to try to force a way of life on you. They do it through fear. They do it through taking from you. You know, saying things like, oh, if you don't believe in this, you're going to go to this place. If you don't think like this, you're not going to be accepted in this place. When you start realizing why this has been put in place, you start understanding that, man, these things have been really put in place because they are afraid of me knowing who I truly am. Now, when you know who you truly are, you know, there's some of us that are going to be religious, some of us not. Some of us are going to be straight, some of us are going to be gay, some of us are going to be Democrat, some of us are going to be Republican, some of us are going to be unaffiliated in many regards. But you can only know what you truly believe when you dive deep inside of yourself. Okay? And a lot of people get their truth from books. But a book is somebody else's truth. You know, if your whole truth comes from a book, then you've adopted somebody else's truth. And I'm not saying books are not valuable, because I love books. Books give you deeper insight into the minds and the realization of other people. It gives you deeper insights to the universe. But if your whole truth comes from a book that somebody else wrote, then you don't really know who you are. I want you to really pay attention to that. And sit with that. And ask yourself, do I really know who I am? How did I come to know who I am? Did I discover it? See, I'll give you a prime example. You might know that I'm a big practitioner of the law of attraction, but when I first came across the law of attraction, I didn't just take it at face value. I went and learned from other people. I went from learned from multiple sources, read multiple books, not just one, multiple. And then most importantly, I sat with myself and I meditated. And I allowed the truth for myself to be revealed to me. Because I didn't want to just be a regurgitator. I wanted to know. I wanted to know, and I wanted to live from that place of knowing. All right, now, as I said earlier, knowing who you truly are is going to require that you spend some time diving into yourself. And I'm not going to tell you the only way to do it, but I'm going to tell you one of the ways to do it, the way I done it. is through meditating. Now, meditating is simple. In order to truly meditate, and I know people say there's a bunch of other ways to meditate, but to truly meditate, you sit still and you observe yourself. Pay attention to the way your body feels in this present moment. Pay attention to the subtle nudges that you feel throughout your body. Pay attention to your thoughts. Observe the stream of consciousness, the internal dialogue that's taking place inside of you. And what you want to do is you want to sit with yourself for 30 minutes a day. You can start off with 10 minutes a day, but when you get really serious about it, sit with yourself for 30 minutes a day. In silence. Without moving. And what you'll discover is that you're anxious, you're stressed, you worry, you constantly think, your body wants to get up and move, and you want to run away from this moment. If you can't meditate, you'll probably never know who you truly are. Because meditating is about observation. To know something is to observe it, to study it. When you meditate, you're studying yourself. You're becoming familiar with it. If you can't meditate, that's evidence that you are afraid of the present moment. Because meditation constantly brings you into the present moment. Truth can only be experienced. And truth can only be experienced in the present moment. Wisdom can only be experienced. It can't be read. Wisdom can't be read. Wisdom can only be experienced. Knowledge can be read, and knowledge is what a lot of people have, but a lot of people don't have wisdom. Sitting with yourself will cause you to come face to face with wisdom. If you make this a way of life, you will confidently start to know yourself and then live by the beat of your own drum. You'll start living as a walking manifestation of who you truly are. Dogs will bark. People will say things, people will do things, but it won't bother you like it used to. Because you've come to a place inside of yourself where you are so peaceful. You're so confident with who you truly are as an individual that you live a life that's undisturbed. Master yourself.